Hi everyone, it's Gilda. We're going to do these two little gnomes today. These are the new fall ones from Clay Magic. I've already color washed them in a chocolate brown because I wanted them to dry and I don't want to sit here and have you watch paint dry. So it's just thinned down, very, very, very thinned down chocolate stain. $4.95. I'm going to open this and show you the consistency. It's very little color and tons of water. I apply it with this stiff bristle fan brush. That's how it's applied. But you see how liquid that is? It's way more water than color. So that's, you thin it out, apply one coat all over, and let it set for a good 20 to 30 minutes to dry before you start painting. Otherwise, you're just mixing the color with the colors on there. So I'm going to do both of these at the same time. They should be quick and easy to do. We're going to start with the flesh, and we're going to use May Duncan's, and I just pulled it. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Duncan's 443. It used to be called native flesh, but they changed it to smoked salmon. I don't know why, but they did. So we're going to start with that one, and we're going to do the face, actually just the nose and the hands in that color. And this is a brand new bottle, so I got to shake it up really good. I'm trying to get a sample of all the new things I just got in last week so you guys can see them. So this is 443 smoked salmon, they call it. Okay, and we're going to use the number 5, I think, round. And you're going to, it's a little bit wet, so I'm trying to get some of the moisture out of here. Okay, we're going to dip into color. Just dip the tip of the brush, not a lot of color, into color. Work it down so it doesn't seem like there's any color left in there. And then we're going to dry brush this on top. So we're going to do his nose. And looking at this before I started filming, I decided that he's got a hand underneath the pumpkin here. So we're going to do this one. And then one on the other side. I decided I'm going to do them in the blues and the greens for fall. And I'm just going to alternate them. So one hat will be blue, one hat will be green, and then one of the little outfits, they got little outfits on, they'll be the opposite color. So the blue guy will have a green jacket and the green guy will have a blue jacket. Okay, so hand here. And it's going to take a couple coats. Work it down. And I also decided I'm going to do one of the pumpkins in like a green and ivory. Start with it. You know, they have those white pumpkins, they call them, but they really got a green undertone to them. I think I want to do with the one guy that's got 2 pumpkins on him. I think it's this one, yeah. I'll do one of the pumpkins instead of doing them all in orange. I'll do one of them in the, okay, a little more on his nose. Go back over his hand. And I'll let that dry a little and then I'll go back and do probably one more coat. That's it, that's that guy. And now we got this guy's nose. And now, normally I would do the stick first, but I got all this flesh going, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in. And this other hand is back here, because you always work from the furthest recessed area out. Okay, go back and give the other one more coat. Okay, a little bit more on his nose, and I think we're good. Okay, now I'm going to go, I think I'll do his clothes next. So, like I said, I'm going to do one in blue, one in green. So the greens I'm going to be using are, and I've got some left here from when I did the Scarecrow stack, are 487 and 466. So I think I'll do his hat in the green and I'll do his outfit in the green. So we're going to go to 487. This is Duncan's OS. And we're going to do his pants. Actually, it's like a little cloak almost. There's no separation in them. But it's under the beard, and that's why I decided to go there first. And then this back piece here in his arms. He's got like this little jackety cloak thing on. So this is 487. And we're going to dry brush a couple coats. Remember, I told you, it's always... you always have to get that first coat on really good. So it takes a little bit more. Every coat after that comes up very fast. So it's only this first coat that requires 2 to 3 coats. And I don't get all the way down. Leave a little bit of that brown in the cracks and crevices. So it gives it the look. There, and you got a little bit here by his hand. Okay, there. And he's got shoes, so that's what these two things are. They're shoes there. So we're going to eliminate those. And now we're going to do, we can do his hat, as long as we're doing the greens. Got to get a little more 487. I see a little spot on the other guy's arm I missed. And letting it dry a little bit in between the coats doesn't hurt either. Okay. So we're going to do his hat. So we're going to go on the underside here. And then we're going to do the whole hat. And then, as long as we've got this green on the brush, I'm going to do the stems on the pumpkins. Now, when I do my pumpkin stems, I do them in green first, and then I dry brush a brown over the top of them. Because I feel that stems, as the pumpkins are picked and they sit, they turn brown. They're not green anymore. So I don't mind having a little bit of a greeny undercast to it. But I don't want them green. That's just me. And if you like yours green, then do them green. I'm only telling you my preferences and my thoughts on what I'm painting. A little more of that green. And again, this is Duncan's OS 487. Okay, I think we're good with that first base on here. A little bit more. We'll go back and do a little bit more on the pants, but I think it's pretty close. Oop, I forgot the stem. Okay. And then just a little bit, it's pretty close. A little bit more on this jacket. And down here. Okay, now we're going to go to 466, which is avocado. Okay, same brush. We're not going to clean it out. We're going to dip into the 466. We're going to take it down. And the dry brush on top. And I think on this one, I'm going to use a little bit of Mako's 376. It's kind of it's a bright green. It's a lime. It's called Lime Burst. But I think it'll look cool over this. So we'll try it. Okay, so that. And the second coat's dry brush up very fast. It's not going to require a lot. I'm not going to put any more green on the stems. That's just good. Then we're going to dry brush some brown on them. Okay, and you see, even though this is a very flat surface, you're not seeing blotches of color anywhere. It still looks very even. And the reason being is because I'm working it down. If you didn't work it down enough, it's going to be blotchy on there. So that is the key. Key, work it down. I can't stress it enough. Okay, this is Mako's. It's kind of a slimy kind of color, but I like it. I use it a lot. Okay, it's a little bit different than Duncan's light green. It's got more of an avocado base to it, I think. Okay, so we're gonna dip in. We're gonna work it down. Same thing, same. And then dry brush on top. Yeah, perfect. And that's the perfect accent color. See how nice that looks? Came up really good. Perfect. Yep, I like that a lot. Okay, good greens. And now we're gonna do his hat. Same way. I think are going to be just as cute. I decided to give them gray beards instead of brown. I think I'm going to go with 475 and 474. And a little bit of brown undertone will just give it a totally different look. So, and I'm applying pretty much pressure to this brush. And the only reason I'm not getting globs is because I've worked 90% of that color back out of there. Good. All right, I think I may hit it one more time. Okay, dip, work it down. See, there's barely anything left on there. But boy, you pick it up right away when you get to your piece. So now I think we'll go to the blues, and I'm going to use the same combination of blues that I used before, which are the 512 Liberty Blue by Duncan, 460 Navy, and 459 Bright Blue. So always darkest to lightest. So we're going to dip into the really dark blue. I'm going to take it down. We're going to do his jacket. I think they're like little cloaks more than a jacket. And I'm not sure what that's supposed to be under there. Oh, I see how this is. This is his arm. It's one big pumpkin. Wasn't quite sure how that was going there. The pumpkin underneath his arm yet. I got a little bit of the blue and the green. So I'm taking just a little bit of water and off it comes. Okay. So now we're putting the 512 on his hat, and I'm gonna have to get some more because I'm pretty low right here. Oh, right here. I didn't think I put it far. Okay, so we're going with 512 on his hat. And we're dry brushing this on. Make sure you get the underside here by his nose. We're going to dip into the orange rust. We're going to work it down. And we're going to dry brush. Kind of a cool color for the pumpkin. Okay, and we'll do the pumpkin on this guy, same colors, orange rust. Dip in, work it down, dry brush. So I'm changing it up a little from the terracotta color that I used on the Scarecrow stack. Just a little bit different colors. All right, work it down. Dry brush. Okay, now I'm going to go to 438. It's going to be my next orange. We're going to dip in. We're going to work it down. And we're going to dry brush. And then I'm gonna go, when I did the Pumpkin Village, I tried this combination that I'm gonna show you next. Well, these two. And then I ended up adding a little bit of the curry, which is 571 by Duncan. And I really liked the way that looked on top. Isn't that a pretty color? Real pretty color for the pumpkins, I think. Yep, a little bit of 571 there, and then a little bit of 571 here, and then leave that orange in your brush and just dip into a little bit of the 435. You just want to get a little bit of yellow in here for highlight, see? Just a little highlight on there, and I like the way that looks. Perfect. Okay, a little bit on here, and this is just enough to give it a highlight, like if the sun were hitting it, and that's what we want. Okay, and now I think the pumpkin, those two pumpkins are done. Now I'm going to rinse this out some, and I'm going to take the 466. I should have done maybe the other pumpkin. And let me look at this again. Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to do the 466, and I'm going to go over here. I know it looks like it's close to the hat, but I'm going to dry brush ivory on top of this, so it'll have a greeny undertone, but still won't look like the hat. So we'll be okay. And as long as I've got this green in my brush, I'm going to go back and do that other stem on the little pumpkin. Okay. And we need to do this stem with a little bit of green. Okay. Now I'm going to get some ivory, 432 by Duncan. And I'm going to dry brush that greeny pumpkin with the ivory. Okay. I'm not going to wash this green out because I want green undertones. So I just dipped in and I'm working it down. Okay, and now we're going to dry brush. And I only wanted this one different because we've got two pumpkins here. We could have made them both the same color. That's strictly up to you. But I kind of like the ivory pumpkin. We're going to give it another coat. So dip into the ivory, take it down, and dry brush. Yeah, I like that. I think it's cute. I'm gonna let it dry and go over it one more time, but it's still kind of wet, so I'll let that go. So now I'm gonna take the 467 I have here, and I'm gonna dry brush up those stems, all three of the stems, just to get a little bit of brown so it looks like they're dried up. There we go. 1, 2, 1 on this one, 3. And it's not going to take a lot, just a little bit, just to make it look like a dried up stem. Okay, now I think why that green is still drying a little, I got a wet spot on there that doesn't want to grab. Let me try one more time. Dip in, work it down, and re-dry brush this again. Better. Oh yeah. Perfect. Okay, so now let's do the beards, and I'm going to use 475 and 474. I'll find a little clean spot on here, and we're going to dry brush up the beards. Remember, I said you got to get a good base coat of the gray or of any of your first colors. That's important. And this guy. I'm going to name these guys. They need names, I think. All right, so our first grays are in. Now we're going to go to 474, which is just called gray. Not light, not dark, not nothing, just gray. All right, do I have one little spot left here? Okay. We're going to go there. And we're going to dry brush up the lighter gray. Or gray, as it's called. And then I may add just a smidgen of white to them. Not a lot. Let me get the other one on first. Okay, now I think I'll just dip a little bit of white into this brush and go over it one more time. Clean paper towel. And I need to find a spot for a little bit of white, because my white's got blue in it. Okay. So we're gonna dip just a little bit. See, it's not really white because of the gray left in the brush, but I just want to hit it with a little more highlight. Yeah, like that. Yep. See? Just a little more highlight to him. Okay, same thing on the other guy. Okay. Now I just need to get the sticks in, and I'm just going to go with a 495 thinned out a little bit. So I'm going to use my small brush, and I still have 495 on here. I'm going to pull a little bit of it down, thinned out here. A little bit of it down. It's been thinned out a little. And I'm just going to add one coat on this stem, on his stick here. And then I'm going to, I got white on there for my finger. I'm going to do the shoes in black, blush their noses, and I think basically these guys are going to be done. Okay, let me just do a little bit of touch up here. I got a little bit of white there, and I touched the top of that with my finger that had white on it. Okay. Alrighty, black on his shoes. And I've got a little bit of black on here. It's more than we need. Thinned out a little bit and kind of washed in here. Okay, he's got two shoes. I'm going to go with a little bit of white over that pumpkin yet. I'm not thrilled to death with the color. Okay, those shoes are done. Let me get some plain white. I did ivory, a couple coats of ivory, but now I think I want to pull a little bit of white in there. Because I like the white pumpkins with the green undertones, but I'm not. There we go, that's better. That's much better. So I went ivory and then a little white. Green, ivory, and white. And I like that much better. Much better. Alrighty. Alright, let me get a little blush in his nose. And again, I'm just using this chalk. It's kind of an orangey color. Here. And a dry brush. Do I have a dry one over here? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that color, pounce it down a little bit because I don't want it really stark, and just give him a little bit of a rosy nose. And this guy, a little bit of a rosy nose. And you can add a little bit over their hands. I just think it looks cute. Okay, and I think these guys are basically done. I'll cut away, and I'm going to look at them and see if there's anything I want to add, but right now I think they're looking pretty cute. After I got all done with these, I decided to go back and do little white stitching across their hats. And you know, sometimes that's it. I'll look at them and say they need a little bit something extra. So that's what I did. I just added that little bit of white stitching across the top of their hats, and I think they look really cute. So just done with a 5/0 liner or a 0 liner, whichever liner you like to work with, and just do those little white dots. Not dots, but stitches, and I think that looks cute. Okay, thanks. Bye.